Today I'm not going to talk about who I am, what I did in my life. It's obvious that kuch acha hi kiya hoga, that's why I'm here. So what I'm going to talk about is how actually I did it, and is it possible to actually replicate it, or is it possible to actually structure it? What I want to talk about is, can you actually structure success? I was tired of listening to this that, it happens when it happens. You never know. कुछ भी हो सकता है लाइफ में, लाइफ कभी भी चेंज हो सकती है. But I cannot rely in my life on this statement. I'm a young guy. I have a lot of energy. I need to do everything in my life. I want to achieve each and every shiny thing which I see in my life. But is it possible to structure success? So I spent couple of months of my life just thinking about this. I was running a successful company, run it for like 5.5 years, took an exit from it, went to Rishikesh, spent my good 30-40 days there, and actually thought each and every stage where I made a decision which impacted the result of where I am right now. So when you talk about constructing success, it is actually a part of 4 or 5 segments which happen in your life. And I came up with a theory which I call it HCF, which we learned in maths, but now you're going to learn it from me, who got around 35 marks out of 100 in maths in 12th, that how HCF actually impacts your life, and it is there in each and everything you do in your life. When you talk about HCF of life, it starts with stage number 1. Now the stage number 1 is exposure. Exposure is defined very vaguely, but in terms of success or making money or building something big, exposure is the top end which gives you that idea that where I have to reach. For example, if you want to make 1 crore in your life, you will never be able to make 1 crore if you don't know anybody who have ever made 1 crore, or if you have never seen that much money, or even if you know that how many digits come in 1 crore. For me, for the longest part of my life, I used to think that if I get a job which pays me 50,000 rupees a month, it's success. Because I never knew that there's a stage beyond that. My father used to make that much. He was a government employee. And when I first heard that somebody is making 2 lakh rupees a month, I smiled at it and I thought that he's joking or he's bluffing. How somebody can make 2 lakh rupees a month. So first thing which actually change your thought process is exposure. Exposure, that how far you can go. रास्ता कितना लंबा है, जाना कहां तक है. That's where you start. That's your stage 1. Your stage 2 is very interesting. Your stage 2 is something which you actually all talked about, is fear. Now fear is not about, will I be able to do it? Fear is about the environment which we have around us, the people who are stopping us to reach there, our loved ones, our parents, our teachers, जो हमें ये कह के रोक देते हैं कि ये मत कर, इसमें रिस्क बहुत ज़्यादा है, या ये मत कर, हमने आज तक देखा नहीं है. I come from a job family, so nobody ever did a business there. So the first thing which they said is, देख हमें तो पता नहीं है कैसे करना है, और हमारे यहाँ ये सब नहीं होता. हम लोग इस चीज के लिए नहीं बने हैं, ये तो कोई और होते हैं. That fear of taking risk, that fear of figuring out which is unknown, that fear of finding which you never experienced in your life, that is your stage 2, where you actually go beyond that. You actually try and actually experience for the first time that I'm way much more capable than I think I am. मुझे कभी नहीं पता था that I'll be very good at dance until I start dancing. I never knew that I'm very good at percentages. I got 35 out of 100 in maths. How can I good at percentages? But I went into business. There are only 3 maths, plus, minus, percentage. Fourth hai hi nahi. When you file, you're going to file taxes in few days. Percentages. Right? महीने का आधा % बनवा रहे हो तो साल का 6% हो जाएगा. I didn't know that. But once I start doing it, वो शक्तियां होती है ना जो तुम्हारे अंदर से निकलती है और तुम्हें लगता है कि यार I'm capable of doing it. It happened with Spider-Man. It happened with Hanuman ji. It happened with all the rock stars you have ever seen in your life. कि तुम्हें अपनी शक्तियों का ही नहीं पता है. तुम्हें ही नहीं पता है कि तुम कौन हो. That's fear. And it's very sad to say in India that the fear is not something which we think we have. The fear is what the people around us think that we have. That's your stage 2. Now we come to stage 3. I've structured this emotional thing very objectively, but that's what I do. Stage 3 is action, where you build. Now you step out. Now you know the exposure. किसी मेरे एक मेंटोर ने मुझे एक सलाह दी थी कि मुझ में और मुकेश अंबानी में क्या फर्क है. उन्हें कुछ ऐसा पता है जो मुझे नहीं पता. तो उन तक पहुंचने के लिए मुझे क्या करना होगा? बस वो पता ही तो करना है. I just need to figure out कि वो क्या है ऐसा जो उनको पता है और मुझे नहीं पता. बाकी तो वही इंसान है 24 घंटे उनकी लाइफ में भी. Right? So I know, now I have the exposure. I have overcome my fear from the society, from the barriers and everything. Now it comes to action. Now action is something which you feel is a very objective thing to do, but it's not. Action is the most emotional thing you do. You feel that I think that way and I'll be able to implement as it is. It's never going to happen. It's emotional discipline. Your action is 100% emotional thing in your journey. So when I started building this company, I started with a tech first model and somehow I got into distribution and operational businesses. I keep on implemented what came to me. There was no structure. There was nothing which I knew, I learned. I never did an MBA. I have zero knowledge about business. All I knew was percentages, plus and minus. I kept my logic straight and I started building this organization. First year we did upwards of 6 crores or top end. Second year we did 70 crores top end. Third year we did 170 crore top end. And the story goes on and on and on, and it went beyond my control. Now my actions are irrelevant for the company. But the most important thing about my actions were my emotions. My emotions which helped my employees to give their 100%. My emotions or my ethics behind building an organization, and my ethics which I stood by till the last day of my working with that organization. Now we have exposure, we have overcome our fear, and now we have done our action. Now what left? The fourth most important thing was staying in the game. There will be tough days. There will be days when things are not in your control. There are days where you will feel like giving up. There are days you will question each and every decision that you made in the entire journey. And you need to stay there. Somebody said that last man standing is always a strategy, because most of the people will fail. When I build strategies for big companies right now, most of the companies are doing top 4,000 crores, or like there are multiple unicorns I've worked with in my life. Most of the companies have zero clarity what they want to do in next 5 years. But they are 100% sure that they're going to sustain and they're going to stay in the particular industry for next 10 years. They have capital, they have resources, they have exposure, they have people who are going to stay there for 10 years. Now, if you stay in the game for 10 years, there is no power in this world which can stop you to succeed in that particular industry. मारवाड़ियों की कहावत है, 1000 दिन देने, 1000वें एक दिन, 1000, day number 1001, if you feel that business is not giving me money back, you stop it. Traders have that intent, same saying. You need to understand your stop loss. Same in business and everything which you do. You put your honest time in your relationships will flourish. You put your time in your education will flourish. You put your time in sports, your sports ability will flourish. Everything will flourish. Last man standing is always a strategy. It's not an emotional decision. When I completed all the 4 stages, then I figured out that if I repeat these 4 stages every time in whatever I do in my life, I'm going to win, which becomes my highest common factor strategy. That in life, it's not about it's going to happen. You need to construct it. And if you follow these 4 stages, you can actually construct your luck, construct your success, and construct your outcomes. Thank you. This is Arjit Singh. That was my time.